Today, we are looking at another watch from MMI Watches, and I think you're actually going to be pleasantly surprised with what's in this watch pouch. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase, and this is All Things Random, mostly watch reviews with some random stuff sprinkled in between. If you're here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, but it really does help the channel. If I'm giving you guys any value, do me a favor and hit the like button. Now, today we are looking at the MMI Heritage 38. Now, this thing is on loan. It's not mine to keep. It's going to move on to the next person. And when you see this watch, the dial, it's not my favorite. I'm going to say it right up front, but they do have other color variants for the Heritage 38. But one of the things that I love the most, the Hangzhou 5000 series micro rotor movement that they put in the back. It is beautiful. It's a wonderful looking watch, and that includes the dial as well. And well, let's just go ahead and flip the camera around and get right into the review. Now, one of the things that I love about MMI watches is each watch comes in a traveling pouch, so you can have more than one watch to travel with. I think that's amazing. If you don't want their traveling pouch, I offer one at Chase Straps. Link down below, since I am a shill. Anyway, this is the Heritage 38. I've already told you in the intro of the video, I'm not the biggest fan of the color wave of this watch, but they do offer it in a lot of different colors. There's a lot of pros about this watch, however, so let's go ahead and hop right into that. Again, this is the Heritage 38, the fantastic purple. This is model HT-03. Now, one of the things I love the most about this is the micro rotor movement here in the back. This is the Hangzhou 5015A, and it is specifically a modified movement, and you can see that it is beautifully decorated. We'll talk more about the movement in just a moment. 38 millimeters in diameter, 10.5 millimeters thick, and overall lug to lug of 45 millimeters. So this thing is going to actually wear quite small on the average wrist. 20 millimeters right here for the lug width, and it does have a beads of rice style bracelet brushed on the outside. The case 316L stainless steel, high polished along the outside, brushed along the top. The stainless steel bracelet, again, beads of rice brushed along the outside, high polished, beads of rice along the center down to a double pusher clasp. This is a proper milled clasp, not a on-the-fly clasp like I would prefer at this price point, but it does offer 1, 2, 3, 4 levels of micro adjustment. They also have a quick release spring bar just below those solid end links so that you can easily take off the bracelet and toss on a chase strap. Another shameless plug for chase straps. Covering this dial is a boxed and domed piece of sapphire crystal, which means that it does give some distortion, but not a whole lot until you reach those edges. Even with that boxed, domed sapphire crystal, 10.5 millimeters thick is actually quite nice for this watch. Now, the reason why the thickness is actually so thin is because of that micro rotor on the back. Now, the micro rotor offers a few things. It offers a redesign of a classic movement, and I say that because micro rotor watches are normally thinner movements, as you see here, and that's because the actual weight wheel of the rotor is normally on the outside, which adds more thickness. So, and this thing is beautifully decorated. In fact, let's get a closer look. Take off these quick release spring bars at the movement itself. And it is a quite beautiful movement. You can see it has Geneva striping. It has circular brushing along the inside, and it does have an MMI gold micro rotor. Just absolutely beautiful. Now this is, again, the Hangzhou 5000 series. Specifically, this is the 5015A, and it, again, is a modified movement. That being said, it is quite lovely and quite beautiful. This thing does have a screw-down crown, 100 meters of water resistance, which makes this a perfect everyday watch. We're actually going to leave the bracelet off until we do a wrist watch check so you can see what it looks like on my 7¼ inch wrist. Again, screw down crown. Let's go ahead and actually unscrew that. And let's take a look at the actual dial itself. If you go ahead and pull it to the outermost position, it goes in the time function. However, like all MMI watches, this offers the rotodate function. The rotodate function actually is, you can see along the outside of the chapter ring, is the date right there at the first position. So go ahead and let's go all the way around. You can see, and this is a lumed plot that shines bright in the night, and it ticks over to the 2. This is one of the things I like about MMI watches, is the fact that they do their own thing, their own designs that are unlike anything else. And the rotodate is on almost every single watch, minus their linen dial. And I'll leave a card right up here for that linen dial review. Again, this watch is not mine. This is on a watch tour, but I love what they're doing. Now, the dial itself is stepped, and it's stepped in a few different ways. And I love the depth of this dial itself. Syringe hands for the hour and minute, and it does have the second hand that ticks along at the 9 o'clock position. The roto date is slightly recessed from the, I guess, stepped up of the indices right here. You can see it's on a slight platform. Recessed is the interior that actually goes into that sub dial. This thing seems like it has a lot going on, but it's actually quite streamlined in the fact that you have automatic just above the 6, MMI, the logo just below the 12, and other than that, it is simply a read only. I think it's actually quite lovely, and this is a metallic finish on the dial, so it does pop in the natural light. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and toss this back on the watch and then get out in the natural light and try it out on the wrist. Here is the watch on my 7¼ inch wrist. You can see that it fits quite nicely, especially with that lug to lug of only 45 millimeters. That means this thing is not overly large. Now let's go ahead and hop right into a dark room to show you a lume shot. Now you can see those syringe hands are bright and brilliant. You can see that that roto date shines extremely bright in orange, and the indices are done quite nicely. Now, I think MMI watches are doing a lot with the little bit of micro brand recognition that they have. I like their roto date style, their roto date style that is on almost every one of their watches. I think it looks really, really good. Again, not a big fan of the dial color. I like the metallic finish of the dial. It gives a nice shine and pop in the light. I like the depth of the dial. I think it shows a lot of forethought in actually creating the watch itself, whereas most micro brands today are simply homage watches of other designs that have already been created. MMI watches isn't that at all. They are whole stock, their own micro watch brand with their own designs, and I really do appreciate that, and I really do love what they're doing. The micro rotor looks awesome. I wish I could keep the watch, but sadly, it's not mine to keep. Anyway, what do you guys think? The Kickstarter is down in the description. If you're interested, check out all the other colors they have. Really affordable watch, and I'm super happy that MMI keeps creating some pretty unique watches that are truly their own. Anyway, if you're still here, once again, hit the subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Leave a like. Leave a comment down below. Hit the notification bell. I have a lot of videos coming out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.